Welcome to video 2 of our reading comprehension. Last time we read chapter 1 of Junie B. Jones is a Graduation Girl. Make sure you bring out your copy of the book if you haven't done so. Okay, let's jump into chapter 2. What happened in chapter 1? Yes, she had a birthday party and she got a lot of presents. What else happens? What does the teacher goes over at school? Yes, graduation. Junie B. Jones is graduating kindergarten. How does Junie B. Jones feel at the beginning? Is she nervous? Is she excited? Is she worried about it? How does Junie B. Jones feel after her teacher explains graduation to them? Yes, she's excited about the diploma, huh? What are Junie B. Jones and the class doing for the parents? Yes, they're doing invitations. Let's jump into chapter 2. The title of chapter 2 is Rhymes. Follow along as I read. If you feel like you need to read this book independently, you may do so. However, make sure you complete your reading comprehension questions on the reading comprehension packet in complete sentence and turn in a picture of your work directly to me. Let's start. Rhymes. I sat at my table very nice. Mrs. passed out colored paper for our invitations. Also, she passed out curly ribbon and lace and paste and bottles of sparkly glitter. Just as a reminder, she said, we do not paste glitter in our eyebrows, and we do not put lace in our noses. And above all, we do not glue curly ribbon to our heads and pretend that it's long hair. She looked and looked at me. I squirmed a little in my seat. 'Cause that woman has a memory like Hawk, I tell you. Finally, Mrs. went to the board and she picked up her chalk. On the inside of our cards, we're going to write a poem about graduation. Does anyone have an idea for the first line? My friend named Grace waved her hand all around in the air. Roses are red! Roses are red! She called out. Yes, hollered the room 9. Roses are red. Mrs. smiled. She wrote it in the board for us. Okay, now what about the second line? She asked. Room 9 hollered again. Violets are blue. Violets are blue. Violets are blue. Mrs. wrote that line too. Very good, class, she said. Now, who can think of the third line? Maybe we should try to mention something about graduation in this one. Does anyone have an idea? A shy boy named William stood up next to his table. Graduation is here. Excellent job, William. Excellent. She printed it out in the board. All right, there's just one more line to go, she said. Let's try to make the last word rhyme with the word blue, okay? She read the first 3 lines out loud to us. Roses are red, violets are blue, graduation is here, room 9, thought and thought. Then, all of a sudden, rhymes started coming from all over the place. My dress will be new, said Lucy. My dad name is Lou, called Jam Hall. We made it, woo-hoo, called Linny. Just then, Polly Ellen Puffer sprang right off his chair, and he started laughing his head off. The Sioux is P.U., he shouted his loudest. And then all of room 9 laughed our head off too, 'cause P.U. is the silliest rhyme we ever heard of. Mrs. clapped her mad hands together. Boys and girls, that's enough. She groaned. She hurried to Polly Ellen's puffer's table, and she put him back on his seat. I do not appreciate that kind of behavior, young man, she said. We're trying to write a nice class poem here, Polly Ellen, and your rhyme was entirely inappropriate. After that, I tried to stop giggling, but that silly poem kept on inside my head. And then, out of nowhere, another funny poem popped right into my brain, and I couldn't even hold it inside of me. I quickly jumped off my chair. Roses are red, violets are blue. Graduation is here, and your feet smell like stink, I shouted. After that, room 9 could not even control themselves again, 'cause that poem was the funniest thing they ever heard. My teacher's eyes got really big and wide at me. Junie B. Jones, didn't you hear a word I just said? She said, very annoyed. Then Mrs. hurried to my table, and she took me into the hall, and she pointed me straight to the office. What do you think is going to happen to Junie B. Jones? Is she in trouble? Was she very nice in class? How do you think it's going to turn out? What do you think is going to happen for chapter 3? Give me a prediction. I hope you enjoyed chapter 2. Let's jump into our reading comprehension questions. Bring out your reading comprehension packet and we're going to go into chapter 2 questions. Let's go over them together. Chapter 2, question 1. What is the title of this chapter? Why do you think the author named it like that? Make sure all your answers are in complete sentences. For example, the title of this chapter is your answer, period. I think the author named it like that because your answer, period. Question 2. What were the first 2 lines of the poem that the students created? Do you remember? This one is an easy one. Make sure your answer is in complete sentence. The first 2 lines of the poem that the students created was your answer, period. Question 3. What did Polly Ellen Popper get in trouble for? What did Polly Ellen did that wasn't very nice? Why was Mrs. upset? Make sure your answer is in complete sentence. Number 4. What happened to Junie B when she shouted out her silly poem? Was Mrs. really upset at her? Where did Mrs. send Junie B. Jones? When you're done completing your questions, make sure you take a picture and send it directly to me via Class Dojo. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you back for chapter 3.